Welcome and thank you for joining me. I am Verone and this is Just Another Voice. Real quick video today because I really wanted to talk about this, but it wasn't on my tight schedule, so I'm really squeezing it in there. I'll try to be less long-winded than usual. The KENOBI series has had a lot of people talking about fan service lately, and whether it's necessarily a bad thing, or whether there's a correlation between fan service and lazy writing. First, what makes KENOBI pure fan service? Mainly the fact that there's really no original story to be told in this period of time between episodes 3 and 4 about Obi-Wan. If the writers had genuinely wanted to tell a story worth telling, they would have done what Rogue One did and found an open spot in the canon, a pre-existing question to answer, rather than answering a question no one was asking, and creating far more questions in the process. The showrunners admitted that they had a hard time coming up with a story that worked in that period of time with these characters in the first place, which is plenty of evidence that this started as a few producers going, "Hey, people will go nuts to see Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen go at it again," rather than a few writers going, "Hey, I've got a great story to tell about Obi-Wan that bridges the prequels to the original trilogy." Fanservice isn't inherently bad in my opinion, it's just that when it's the only reason for telling your entire story, it tends to be pretty shallow, and often leads to lazy writing because the creators just expect fans to watch it and love it regardless. That's why they tossed in so many things they knew most fans would be suckers for, whether or not they make sense, like young Leia, because they knew it would distract from the lack of any real story. But really, this is more what I like to call fan bait than actual fan service. It lures in the fans and placates them by giving them what they think they want as a cheap way to get people to watch without actually having to put any effort into making a decent story. And it's what Disney's been relying on in most of their franchises now for a while. True fan service to me looks more like The Mandalorian, and comes from a place of genuine passion for the world and characters being worked with. The Mandalorian isn't necessarily the best show on its own merits, and relies largely on keeping the fans happy and excited, but does so by genuinely honoring the lore and characters we want to see more of. This isn't just offering what we think we want, the rematch of the century that never needed to happen. It's delivering what we really want. Not that there's always a fine line, but I think it's a key difference. Anyway, that's all for today. Like and subscribe, and be sure to check out my other janky videos. And of course, join the discussion in the comments. Expect my last video within the next week. Until then, never stay silent.